First off, player character death is 100% on the table. That is one of the consequences and stakes of this game. 2, the players cannot see in the dark. No PCs can see in the dark, but all the monsters can. So light is a really important resource. Hello, and welcome to the Jaunty Mantis, a podcast of creative questions for curious gamers. Tonight's creative question, what is a Shadowdark? Hi, I'm Jesse.
I'm Matty.
I'm Chris.
And tonight's very special guest
is the Beast, a.k.a. Peaches, a.k.a.
Hey!
Lauren.
The Beast.
Or Peaches is preferred, but yeah, the Beast. That works too.
Unfortunately, Peaches, we've minimized your damage by having you be a player tonight instead of punishing us through brutal application of game mothering. But yeah, there we go.
I have to get knocked down every so often, and it's fine.
All right. Part 2 in our ongoing series of run a game and then talk about a game. We have Shadowheart. So just throwing it out to you guys before we jump in. Wait,
Shadowdark.
Shadowdark. Sorry.
Wait, Baldur's Gate, yeah.
We may have been talking about some Baldur's Gate 3 before we hit record. So I'm just going to call the game Shadowheart now. So I'm going to fail to romance this game like I failed to romance Shadowheart in every playthrough of Baldur's Gate I've ever done. So just going to own that. And that's me. Shadowdark is the game we're playing tonight. So just before we get going in, how many of you have played Shadowdark before?
I never have.
Nope. Never.
Oh, okay. I have.
And I never will. Leave call. What
do you know about Shadowdark?
I know it's brutal. Mm-hmm. I know that it is, we talked about it on the podcast previously, and I'm really excited to try it out because, you know, if you don't actually play a role-playing game, then you're basically doing a book review. So I'm excited to put this one to practice. It sounds brutal, which is very appealing to me. And I like the fact that it uses all sorts of, you know, mechanics to help get in that gritty realism in addition to death being like the torchlight and whatnot. So I'm super excited to see this game in action.
Cool.
Yep. I read the player guide and sounds like boiled down D&D. And I'm excited to have Jesse show me why dungeon crawls are cool and fun. So it's not normally my go-to.
What? Not your go-to, but dungeon crawls. Dungeon crawls.
Dungeon crawls.
I can just keep saying that over and over again, and maybe it'll make something while I'm panning for time. Because like all good GMs, I was going to start you off with a rumor, and I lost the rumor table. But then I found it, so hooray. Mm-hmm. So before I give you your rumor table, we don't have much on our characters. Each one of your character sheets that you have picked, we are using pre-rolled characters for this. Each one of your characters has a background. And what that means as far as the mechanics go is if you think your background would apply to the thing I might be asking you to roll dice for, you have advantage on that roll, or you just do it.
Where do we find our background? Is that in details?
It's on the details, yeah.
I am a soldier. Perfect.
And for the listeners at home, we are using the Foundry Shadowdark module to run our game for us tonight. So, cool. Shadowdark, for those of you who have never played it or didn't catch our review episode of it, a couple things that make Shadowdark maybe a little bit different from normal D&D. First off, player character death is 100% on the table. That is one of the consequences and stakes of this game. 2, the players cannot see in the dark. No PCs can see in the dark, but all the monsters can. So light is a really important resource. Hit points are typically low. Damages are pretty high. And it's not a skill system. It is basically a roll a stat and try and be clever. So with that, I think if you guys could introduce your characters, starting with Matty,
All right.
we'll get going.
I am playing Jorbin Ironhelm, a dwarven fighter. He has very polished, well-crafted armor. His beard is voluminous, and the mustache portion has been very heavily overwaxed in order to keep it perfectly in position. So it looks crispy and slick at all times. So in the torchlight, you can see this like shimmer or glim from his just almost like tree bark application of his mustache wax. He's got the axe. He's got attitude. And I don't think I'm going to do a Scottish or Irish accent because I think that's a little played out, but we'll see what happens as we get going.
Thanks, Jorbin. I'm so glad you mentioned the torch. While there is the thin light of day coming in from the entrance behind you here at this site that you've been informed is the Lost Citadel, it is going to get darker inside. Does anyone want to go ahead and light a torch now while you're still in the light?
I will.
Okay. So Shadowdark has a torch timer, and thanks to the technology of Foundry, I've got a cool little tracker, and I can see there it is, 60 minutes. I got a little timer visible to me how much light is left. Thanks, Jorbin.
My pleasure.
All right. Peaches, what you got?
All right. I'm Ralina Biggins. I'm a robber, halfling. Feel like she is very gruff and no nonsense and may or may not stab somebody in the back. Who knows if she feels like it. Short cropped hair. She probably cuts it herself just to keep it out of her face. And so it's probably a real bad haircut. And she's a lot of attitude packed into a tiny little body.
Great. Thanks. Chris?
I'm Iraga Dragu, half-orc priest, urchin on the city streets, taken in by the Church of Saint Taragnus, raised in the knightly priestly order, very seriously attempting to pursue the ideals, but still being a softy at heart. Hair is long, but kept pulled tightly back out of the way of, swinging weapons and prayerful hands. Standard. Actually, what is my armor? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Chainmail, long tabard with whatever the symbol of St. Taragnus is.
What do you want the symbol of St. Taragnus to be?
It is 3 swords, hilts crossed just above the hilts and like fanned out above.
Cool. Okay. Well, you may be heroes, you may be villains, you may be mercenary scum. Whatever your goals and aspirations are, you need coin to fund them, and that is primarily what has brought you to the Lost Citadel. Though, on your journeys here before meeting, each of you has heard a rumor, possibly the same rumor. So, Jorbin, could you roll a 6-sided die, and I will tell you what rumor you have heard about this dread and lightless place.
Indubitably. Let me get my 6-sided die. All of them. I got a 3.
A 3. You've heard that in the Lost Citadel, piles of gems and gold lie about as if totally forgotten.
A mighty haul.
Indeed. Ralina, what rumor have you heard of the Lost Citadel?
Where did you find the die 6?
On my desk.
Oh, I'm supposed to have real dice? I didn't know.
I just panicked and opened my dice bag and put them all over my
I'm
desk.
unprepared. Jesse said I didn't need anything. No.
I thought you had a dice roller. I'm new to Foundry-ish.
Dude, hold on.
There's got to be one around here somewhere, right?
You can also, in the message box on the right side of the screen, type /roll 1d6.
No, there we go. I did. I got a 3.
Okay, 3. You have also heard that piles of gems and gold lie about, as if totally forgotten.
Cool.
Whereas I rolled a 1.
Iraga, you heard that ancient kings who dwelt in the citadel possessed magical weapons that were feared far and wide.
It'll be a powerful boon to our cause.
It could be. It could be. Ahead of you, in this narrow hallway, it is old. The stone is cracked and echoey. There's a thick layer of dust. It seems that no one has trod these halls in a long time, but there are 2 double doors at the end of this hallway. Jorbin, you are first in our Shadowdark uses a turn-based system, even when we're in exploration. What do you want to do, Jorbin?
I would like to investigate the doors.
Okay. So you advance, move up to the doors, and sure enough, they're doors. I wish I had something better for that. But no, they are simply doors.
Let us spend many hours considering that they might be trapped.
They do
before
not
we trod on these halls.
You're careful. You're looking at the doors. You do not see any indication of traps upon these doors, nor do you hear any sound coming from the other side. Ralina, what are you doing?
I'm waiting and seeing what happens to them first. And I'm going to actually sneak up behind, not Jorbin, Iraga, and just kind of, I want to look at what he's got on his person. Just curious.
Iraga?
Mm-hmm.
She has, in addition to the chainmail, a crossbow slung across her back, a long sword in hand, and shield on the offhand, as well as a backpack with rope and torch hanging from it. And that's probably the grappling hook would be exposed as well. Crossbow bolts, yeah.
No jewelry or anything, shiny in particular.
If I wear some sort of pendant to my deity, which you suspect I might, I keep it tucked under the tabard, specifically around you.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
Just curious.
Ralina, you're not seeing anything easily accessible or valuable that could be filched from the good Iraga. Iraga, what are you doing?
I'm watching carefully as our fighter hopefully just swings the door open.
Okay. I will tell you this. While death is on the table, and this is an old school game, one of the modernizations for it is I will telegraph if there's some bad shit. Like, if I will be like, I will do something on the door description to indicate a trap has gone off recently, or I'll tell you hear the sound of a monster. Like, I'm not just going to bushwhack you just to bushwhack you because you didn't use a 10-foot pole. It's not that kind of old school.
Cool. Big preach.
So, yes. But if you see something and you're like, we're going to fight it, yes, it can kill you. That's what I mean by death is on the table.
Okay.
Say something.
Yes. Okay. Well, then back to Jorbin Ironhelm.
Well, since we're all standing in front of the door, I'm going to throw it open.
You throw the door open with a boom, and the light of your torch reveals a chamber. This room...
I love chambers.
...is floor-to-ceiling murals painted in vibrant jewel tones. The pillars that you can see are red and tapered. They're banded in black marble at the top and the bottom. Ralina, what do you want to do?
I think I will kind of, I'm going to slip over to the side, over here, and check out this door.
Okay. Sure enough, there is a door there. It seems to be a old banded wooden door, just like the other ones. There doesn't seem to be anything too mischievous about it. No signs of struggle or damage. It does not appear to have a locking mechanism.
Okay. I'm trying to find me some gold, so I'm gonna creak open just a skosh.
Okay.
And peek in.
You creep open the door just a skosh. It reveals a long hallway, narrower than the entranceway, that turns pretty quickly. You can see dusty hoof prints in the detritus that covers the hall, worn over many time. Large hooves have trod back and forth across this, and a warm breeze flows out of this as soon as the door is opened.
We've been lied to. These halls have indeed been trod.
I don't know. I think there's some sort of horse in here. It doesn't make no sense, though.